In the Oval Office, there is nowhere to hide. Literally no dark corners and no escape. And in this breaking story, reporters turned up the heat on the lies that Donald Trump and Elon Musk have been telling, and it all went down in Trump's Oval Office, a place where you'd think they'd have the home field advantage. Think again. There was no advantage for Team Trump and Musk in what you're about to see. And coming up next, I have all the backpedaling, all the contradictions, and even a rare egg-on-face admission where one of them said, "Some of the things I say will be incorrect." Donald Trump and Elon Musk are usually masters at controlling their narratives. Their superpowers include situational awareness, an instinctive ability to lie, deflect, and bulldoze through tough questions, and they can turn any press moment into a spectacle of misdirection. But this moment today in the Oval Office got away from them, and the reporters present did a good job in revealing the cracks in their stories. There is so much to unpack here, so let's jump right in as we build towards that "some of the things I say will be incorrect" misinformation confessional. Let's file this first clip under spin. Finally, someone confronted Musk in the presence of Donald Trump about his massive conflicts of interest. Have a listen as he dances around the Oval Office without moving his feet.
The White House says that you will identify and excuse yourself from any conflicts of interest that you may have. Does that mean that you are in effect policing yourself? What are the checks and balances that are in place to ensure that there is accountability and transparency?
Well, we actually are trying to be as transparent as possible. In fact, our actions, we post our actions to the Doge handle on X and to the Doge website. So all of our actions are maximally transparent. In fact, I don't think there's been, I don't know of a case where an organization has been more transparent than the Doge organization.
Did you hear the depth of that ridiculousness? My translation is, the narrative that I control is posted on the social media platform that I control for all to read. He is explaining his conflicts of interest by outlining one of his many conflicts of interest. Forget what I said when I gave the guy credit for having situational awareness. And now watch as the conflicts of interest grilling continues, but now with Elon's young son X on his shoulders, as if they're at Disney World waiting for a photo with Goofy.
If you have received billions of dollars in contracts from the Pentagon, and the president's directing you to look into the Department of Defense, is that a conflict of interest?
Yes, we definitely need to do and are going to do at the president's request.
Does that present a conflict of interest for you?
No, because you'd have to look at the individual contract and say, first of all, I'm not the one, filing the contract. It's people at SpaceX or someone who will be putting for the contract. And I'd like to say, if you see any contract where where it was awarded to SpaceX and it wasn't by far the best value for money for the taxpayer, let me know, because every one of them was.
I have two thoughts on what you just saw. First, Elon Musk sometimes uses X as a prop, maybe to show his softer side. After all, someone who did a Nazi salute at Donald Trump's inauguration definitely needs to show a softer side. And second, did you hear the language he used to distance himself from the employees at SpaceX? I call bullshit on that. And now for the "some of the things I say will be incorrect" moment. Do you remember the weird condom story that Trump promoted as Musk was ramping up the Doge slash and burn machine?
We identified and stopped $50 million being sent to Gaza to buy condoms for Hamas.
Well, with Trump looking diminutive and perturbed, Musk walked it back in a big way.
Mr. Musk, you said on X that an example of the fraud that you have cited was $50 million of condoms was sent to Gaza. But after fact-check this, it apparently Gaza in Mozambique, and the program was to protect them against HIV. So can you correct the statements? It wasn't sent to Hamas, actually. It was sent to Mozambique, which makes sense why condoms was sent there.
Yeah.
And how can we make sure that all the statements that you said were correct, so we can trust what you say?
Well, first of all, some of the things that I say will be incorrect and should be corrected. So nobody's going to bat 1,000. I mean, we will make mistakes, but we'll act quickly to correct any mistakes. I'm not sure we should be sending $50 million worth of condoms to anywhere, frankly. I'm not sure that's something Americans would be really excited about.
I think the confession you just witnessed will be rarer than a smile on Melania's face while exiting Air Force One with Donald. It will happen less frequently than Stormy Daniels taking a cash payment, and it will happen less often than Kanye West being invited to a Shabbat dinner. But now that we know they can do this, I want to know, where's Trump's statement where he says, we got it wrong about the dogs and cats. Turns out they weren't being eaten. And where's the admission that Musk did in fact deliberately deliver that Nazi salute at Trump's inauguration party? These guys lie all the time, and this time it was a guilty pleasure to see the press win this round against the White House Liars Club. And in closing, and in the interest of fair and balanced reporting, I'm going to give Fox the final word, and I challenge you to not lose your mind over the odd gushing you'll see over what came out of the elder Musk's mouth and the very weird mention about what came out of the younger Musk's nose.
Thank you. See you later.
Fascinating, compelling, wide-ranging Q&A with President Trump and Elon Musk from the Oval Office. The aesthetics, first and foremost, hard to watch. Hard to look away, actually. Hard to stop watching what just took place on your screen right there on Fox. President Trump turning over a remarkable amount of time to Elon Musk. Among these forums, on these stages, I don't think we've ever seen President Trump turn over to someone else so much of center stage. Elon Musk taking a wide-ranging Q&A, talking about conflicts of interest, talking about transparency. But perhaps the star of the past 40 minutes was Elon Musk's son, X. Personally, I think we might want to trust a man to scour the government for waste and fraud who doesn't waste money on a babysitter. And perhaps the biggest victory when it comes to the last 45 minutes, little X managed to finally clear that nostril out from whatever was hanging and bothering him for most of that executive order signing in the Oval Office.